last week, we started to learn about conditional logic. We learned about the if command, which executes code only if the statement is true. And we learned about the else command, which is executed if the statement is not true. This week, we'll practice using those two commands, and we'll also learn about the else if command. We're going to practice these commands by making a little program. The program will ask the user what time it is, and based on the time entered, it will tell the user whether or not it's time to get up. Let's try it out. Okay, we're going to use the same conditionals.js file that we were using last week, but let's make a new section. We'll put a couple of forward slashes so that this will just be a comment, and we will say a program to determine whether it's time to get up. So what this program is going to do is it's first going to ask for input. And in order to ask for input, we're going to need to add a special NPM package called prompt sync. Prompt sync is a package that will let us prompt the user for a response, and then we'll be able to take action on that response. So in order to install that NPM package, we're going to use the npm I command. I stands for install, and then we're going to type prompt-sync. Okay, and that package was installed. We can see that the package was installed by going to our package.json file, and there it is, prompt sync. So we can see that package is there. We have it now. We can use it. Let's go back to our conditionals file. Now, in order to use this package, we're going to need to bring it into the conditionals file. So we're going to put in a couple of line breaks here, and then we're going to add const prompt. So that's going to be the name of the package that we're going to use here, equals require prompt sync. So what we're doing here is we're saying we want to use the prompt sync package, and we're going to call it by this variable name or this constant name prompt. So every time we use the word prompt, we will be using that new package. Now, there's one more thing that we need to add in here, and this is just a feature of this one particular package. You won't see this with other packages. We just need to put in a couple of extra parentheses here, and that is just to initialize the prompt. The prompt won't work without those two extra parentheses on it. Okay, so now that we've got that there, now we can write our program, and we will be using conditional logic in our program. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to ask the user what time it is. So we're going to create a new variable called hour, and we're going to set that equal to the response we get from this prompt. What time is it? Question mark, and then we're going to put in a little space here so that there's a space between what the user types in and the question. So when we run the program, we're going to see that the console is going to ask the user, what time is it? And the user is expected to put in an hour value. So once we have that hour value, then we're going to use some conditional logic. So we will say if hour equals less than 4. In other words, if it's less than 4 o'clock in the morning. And then we'll use the curly braces for a code block to say what should happen if the hour is less than 4. So what we'll do there is we will log it's the middle of the night, keep sleeping. Okay, so that will be what will happen if the hour is less than 4. Now we're going to add something new that we didn't talk about last week, and that is the else if statement. So what the else if statement is it's saying, if it wasn't the first thing, hour is less than 4, then let's check to see if it's the second thing. So in parentheses, we will say, if hour is greater than 4, and when we say and, we use the 2 ampersand signs, hour is less than 7. So in other words, let's check to see, is it 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning? If it's those times, this is what we should do. And let's make a code block. We'll say console.log. You can sleep a little longer. Okay. And now let's add in, oops, I want to put a period after that. Now let's add in an else. So this is what's going to happen if the hour is not less than 4, if the hour is not between 4 and 7, everything else, this is what's going to happen. So we will say console.log, why are you still sleeping? Get up. Okay. So let's go through it again and see what we can expect to see when we run the program. So the first thing we're going to see, we will see these two, a couple of console logs up here just because of the stuff we were doing last week, but you don't need to worry about that. The first thing that we'll see in our program is the prompt, what time is it? And so then we're going to type in a number in response, some kind of hour, anything from 1 to 12. And then if the hour is less than 4, we should see this console message. If the hour is in between 4 and 7, we should see this console message. And if the hour is anything other than less than 4 or between 4 and 7, then we should see this message. Why are you still sleeping? Get up. Okay, let's run it and let's see what happens. So first we need to save. And now we'll run it by typing node conditionals.js. Okay, so we see our console log statements from last week. We don't need to worry about those, but we also see the prompt. What time is it? And we can see the little cursor here. It's waiting for us to answer. So let's answer something. So let's try answering something that's less than 4. Let's answer 3. So let's pretend it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And we'll click return. And we'll get the message, it's the middle of the night. Keep sleeping. Okay, let's run it again. What time is it? It asks. Let's do something in between 4 and 7 now. So let's say it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's see what the message is. You can sleep a little longer. All right, now let's do one more. Okay, let's answer something later. Let's say it's 9 o'clock in the morning. And now we get the message, why are you still sleeping? Get up. So you've just written a little program that uses conditional logic to determine what kind of response should come back to the user. Thanks for watching this video. If you found my training helpful, please like this video and share it with others. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single lesson. If you're enjoying Monday Morning Automation and you'd like to learn even faster, be sure to check out my book, The Complete Software Tester, which is available in Kindle and paperback on Amazon.com.